We have this really amazing opportunity to build a world that people want to stay in for a really long time and have that conversation with them. It's really exciting that this time it's a two-way street. It's not the one-way street it was ever before.
We heard loud and clear what players wanted. They wanted more. That's what we've tried to do in The Dark Below, is bring people more. It's got more Crucible multiplayer maps, it's got a new strike, a brand new raid, new weapons, got new gear. More story was a core goal for us, so we created Eris.
I am Eris, the last. I have seen what the Hive call a god. I told Zavala, we mustn't wake them.
Eris is many things. She's a vendor in the tower, so she has loot and armor for you to get as you progress in the story.
Kill Sardon.
But she's also the main quest giver for the whole Dark Below storyline.
Omnigul is wicked and desperate. Keep your light safe.
Eris and other Guardians tried to kill Crota. It didn't go well, and she spent years hiding in the tunnels below the moon, waiting for a chance at revenge.
The ritual has begun. Push forward, Guardian.
So one of the new things we're doing with the strike is we're integrating it into the storyline.
We wanted Eris to tie everything together.
Crota's soul is waking.
And so she's been woven into the strikes, the story, and the raid, and making it all part of that one cohesive experience.
When we sit down as the raid team and talk about building a new raid, we start with, what's the theme? The theme of the Vault of Glass was a descent. With Crota's End, one-way trip became that theme that a bunch of our mechanics and experiences were measured against.
So Expansion 1 has 3 new maps. There's Pantheon, Skyshock, and the Cauldron. Pantheon is our first truly symmetric map. There are 3 lanes. There's Cliffside, Center, and Waterfall. We wanted to have better compartmentalized infantry zones, so Skyshock gives us that. You've got the vehicles owning one space and you've got infantry owning another. And then we have the Cauldron. You've got these unique locations on each part of the map that are very easy to call out. You've got Bone Room, you've got Bridge Room, you've got the Altar, which is what makes it such a good small team map and a good Rumble map.
In The Dark Below, you get new guns, new exotics,
More choices of exotic armor that change the way the characters play. So you've got Eris, who's got a Hive-themed weapon, she's got shaders, she's got class items, she's got bounties for experience.
We're going to have new Crucible weapons, a full set of new raid weapons, new Vanguard weapons, and new legendary weapons across the board.
Certainly we're going to explore some stuff that we think is really cool, but we're also going to listen to the community and build some things that they think is pretty cool. Just like we shipped the game and it got into real players' hands and they started to play and we learned so much, the same thing's going to happen with The Dark Below. And I think that's going to change how we look at Expansion 2 and what we do next.
Six of us went down into the pit. Only one crawled out. I am Eris, the last. I have seen what the Hive call a god. be ignored. We must stop what is coming.
Rated T for teen.
When the Fallen sought to destroy us, I protected the reef. In the end, they all bowed before me. We showed them mercy and offered them a home amongst the Awoken. They met that mercy with betrayal. Now, they will feel my wrath. Open the reef to the Guardians. Offer the riches of our realm as bounty for these traitors. Let the hunt begin.
Пеги 16.
When we rose to crush the Fallen, it was I who showed them mercy.
House of Wolves starts with a betrayal. The House of Wolves have risen up against the Queen and attacked her guards. And now the Queen is deciding to make a change to open up the reef for all Guardians to come and collect bounty.
Now, they will feel my wrath.
Attention, Guardians. This is Petra Venge of the Awoken Royal Guard.
Throughout the story, Petra, she's the voice for the Queen. She'll be sending you on the main story missions to hunt down the main bad guy, Skolas.
I'm the Queen's blade. Your hunt begins with me.
Rather than just have the one story character, we introduce a whole new area, the social space of the reef.
Take a walk around. You'll find some interesting allies here.
There are multiple different characters in there, each with their own perspective.
I can help you find the wolves.
You just have to go to the reef and see new quest givers. That's a really interesting way to both expand the universe and tell a compelling story.
The team really wanted to explore more activities for the player, new weapons, armor, and gear to earn.
House of Wolves will stand forever.
Once you've completed the story, the Prison of Elders opens up to you, and Varix is your guide through that.
It's a gladiator arena inside this prison where the most nefarious criminals in the universe live.
The arena is all about getting straight to the action. You can matchmake into it using all of your weapons and all of your skills.
Fight, kill, survive.
If you want to ratchet up the difficulty to an ultra-hard difficulty mode, then you need to form a fire team, and the rewards, of course, ratchet up as well.
We have Brother Vance,
who is a vendor specifically for the Trials of Osiris.
The wolves will test them, make them ready for the trials.
Trials of Osiris provides the PvP endgame experience, so players can go up against the best in the world and get rewarded with the best gear. The elimination game type is probably the most intense game type we have in Destiny right now. You bring your pre-made fire team, it's 3v3, no respawns, so you're trying to wipe out the enemy team. When they're all dead, round's over.
So there's 3 new PvP maps in House of Wolves: Black Shield, Widow's Court, and Thieves' Den. Black Shield takes place on Phobos, one of Mars's moons. It's an abandoned Cabal outpost. It tends to play really well for control and also nicely for skirmishing.
Widow's Court is an asymmetrical map that takes place in the European Dead Zone, and it features long sniper lines as well as close quarters battle.
Thieves' Den takes place in an abandoned fallen outpost in an active volcano. The really interesting part is the center of the map that you end up fighting on and around quite a bit because it's the focal point and the midline.
The new strike is called the Shadow Thief, and it takes place on the Fallen Ketch on the moon.
Tracking another fallen captain who's gone rogue. You meet him several times, and he taunts you up. So it's not just about waves of enemies, it's not just about one culminating boss battle.
A lot of people want to take their Fatebringer or their weapons or gear from the Vault of Glass or Crota's End, and they want to still use it. So all legendary gear, weapons, armor can be brought up to level 34.
House of Wolves offers players tons of new variety. New guns, new gear is really important. We want new exotics out in the mix. Queen's Wrath is returning. We got Fallen themed stuff, Cyrus themed stuff.
Great thing about Destiny is it doesn't stop with House of Wolves. You're building this character that is going to persist into the future.
Let the hunt begin.
Пеги 16.
When the fallen sought to destroy us, I protected the reef. In the end, we showed them mercy. They met that mercy with betrayal. Now, they will feel my wrath. Let the hunt begin.
is Oryx, the Taken King. And he's coming for you, Guardian. Can you blame him? You killed his son with his own sword. Now, he's out for revenge. And he's building a dark army to hunt you down. But I've heard the legends. You're ready. Attention. Now, go get his head.
The Taken King is the next major chapter in the Destiny saga. It involves Oryx, an ancient hive king born from darkness, and he's come to the system with a single goal in mind: revenge.
You took my son!
There's a Cabal base on Phobos, and something's going on there, we're not quite sure, and the Vanguard have sent you to go investigate.
We've intercepted a Cabal distress signal on Phobos. Be ready for anything.
It's clear that the Cabal are not leading an invasion, but they're actually fleeing from an enemy.
Oryx is here, and he's brought with him an evil army of corrupted Taken. Combatants that have been ripped out of our dimension and sent back with new powers and new abilities. And they're going to challenge players in new ways.
You might be fighting against the Cabal or the Hive, and all of a sudden, Oryx drops his troops in there, and now you're fighting a completely different set of enemies.
We want the tone to impress urgency on you. We want you to start to feel like, wow, this Oryx, he's here, he's coming for me and my friends, and we have to stop him. Because we want to wear his like a hat. We
wanted to do something that retained elements of where the Taken came from, but that unified them. So they've got like this supernatural flame that's burning them from the inside. And because we wanted to communicate their will being erased, they tend to have jitter in their animations and sort of a tortured look to them.
One of the design goals for the Taken was to make the alien races of Destiny feel even more alien.
In the Taken King, you're going to go to a new destination, Oryx, his dreadnought, his massive castle in the sky, and you're going to have to explore it, and you're going to have to track him down and find him. It's like a giant, evil mausoleum. There are puzzles that at first you might not discover, you might not even understand.
They've got prisons, summoning pits, they've got ceremony, and all those things are combined in this giant floating fortress.
The place is ancient, it's millions of years old, and it's filled with loot. The city and the Vanguard realized we're not powerful enough to stop Oryx. We need to rediscover some of the lost arts of our forebears. And so you're sent off on a quest to discover these former powers that Guardians used to have. We have 3 new subclasses: the Night Stalker, the Stormcaller, and the Sunbreaker. The Night Stalker gives the Hunter a support class that he doesn't have right now, and allows him to bind his enemies with a void-powered bow and arrow.
He brings that bow back, hits a guy, charges up, and then goes out, captures the other guys. Instead of just like a one-off, like, it's just a little bit more exciting.
The Warlock is the Stormcaller, involves calling forth a storm of arc energy to decimate your enemies.
Gets down in crouch pose and then blasts out, lightning strikes him, he becomes infused with that energy, and now you're just roaming the map like an electric god.
The Titan Sunbreakers are Solar Titan subclass. You get to wield this awesome flaming hammer.
He crouches down, like creates that hammer, and then just throws it. We wanted it to feel like anytime you come around the corner and you see that guy, you just want to run.
Mayhem is a brand new competitive mode in the Crucible. We wanted to see what happened when we let ability energy recharge and super energy recharge really quickly.
How will you fare against utter chaos, Guardians?
And that's where the name Mayhem comes from. So it's essentially team deathmatch, but everything is turned up to 11. Rift is Destiny's answer to a capture the flag style objective mode. Your team has to grab the spark and then bring it to the enemy team's rift. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can go in forwards and do the traditional dunk it right in. You can also backflip dunk, which nets you extra points for style. If the enemy team grab it,
you have the spark.
You then have to defend your point and make sure they don't bring the spark into your rift.
Destiny is a persistent world that is constantly moving forward, and this fall with The Taken King, it's taking a major leap. There's a new villain, new places to go, new enemies. There's new subclasses, there's all new exotics, new public events, new patrols, everything.
We're doing amazing stuff with weapons that we're not even ready to talk about yet. We have new progress for your characters. Your Guardians are going to become more powerful than they've ever been. And yes, we're going to have a whole bunch of new strikes, and we have listened. Like, we know Valistark has too much health. We get it. We have rooms that begin to feel like bosses. They're like a tip in the next direction that we're going to go. And the team's been hard at work crafting our next big raid.
We're on the forums, we're reading Reddit, we're reading NeoGAF, we're seeing what people like, what they don't like.
We want them to see like speculative posts about what's where and what's how and how does this all work? Is there an extra chest in the Vault of Glass? Like, I'll never tell. Those are the sorts of narratives that we want to tell as we begin year 2. And yeah, year 2 begins with Destiny, the Taken King.
Supposed to be the end. But we weren't ready to let go. Not without a fight. want to know who we are? We're Guardians. We're hunters. Titans. Warlocks. Revolt Raiders. Sword Bearers. God Slayers. We ride into the darkness together. We navigated our solar system, seeking to take back our planets and destroy the darkness at its heart. But all actions have consequences. We've angered a god, the Taken King, who promises to bring our destruction. Most would think it wise to run. But we're the line between survival and extinction. We're Guardians. And Guardians don't flee. They fight. Join us and become legend. Rated T for T.
Once I looked up at the stars. I was a guardian. I stood against the darkness. My eyes saw hope and a future full of light. 6 of you went down into the pit. You sought revenge for those I lost. You slew a god. Crota. With his last breath, he reached out across the night. And now, the night has answered. Oryx, Crota's father. He smells the blood of his son on your hands. Slain his brood. We have murdered his son. And now the Taken King comes for us all.
I've never seen anything like this.
We fought to keep our beautiful creation safe. And now this beast has come, claiming to be king. Marasav bows to no one.
Our Guardian got a good look on Phobos. Whatever it was, it turned Cabal against Cabal.
They are taken. Oryx has arrived.
I will take them all.
Whatever you kill, Oryx will replace. Facing Oryx was never the end. Within the dreadnought, his horde draws breath. You cannot face this alone. 6 of you must rise and stand together as the king falls.
I will take them all.
Guardians are fighting on Earth and beyond. Join them. Push back the darkness.
Sparrow Racing League begins December 8th, exclusively on Destiny: The Taken King.
We used to make these great linear campaign shooters, and what we wanted to do with Destiny was create a living world.
We are ready to jump into the Trials of Osiris.
This place is so cool.
By being a live game, we can experiment with things, we can try new things.
Bungie listens, they're picking the good maps.
We believe that players want a world that they can check into, a world that invites them to come back and check something out that wasn't there before.
We want to be a living game, we want it to be a hobby, and the live team is a reflection of Bungie's commitment to doing that.
High five. Yeah, all right.
The live team has been in charge of doing everything from playlists to weekly patches to Iron Banner rollouts and Trials of Osiris.
This is crazy.
Oh, there's loot, guys, there's
We
loot.
want to bring in more quest lines, more stuff to do, more stuff to chase, more loot items, more guns, more gear.
What I like as a player is that when I come into the world and there's an event going on, the world's a really different place. That makes the world feel alive, and it's just a more fun place to be in.
What we want to create is an engaged audience that wants to keep coming back, and that your friends, your social network is part of what's like pulling you back into the world.
We have a wonderfully connected community, and that's something that makes Destiny just kind of magical, honestly.
Look at this. This is so cool. This is amazing. I love it.
You trolls, Bungie. Oh, look at that. She has a Crota mask. Oh my god.
We had looked at the tower and the social experience and said, why don't we have awesome holidays? Like, why don't we build on that Jack-o'-lite Halloween experience from last year and do something bigger?
Story, cutscene, missions with mask on is freaking hilarious.
We want to create these community lightning rods of things that people are doing together. If players are responding really well to them, like, that's what we want to build more of.
World events for the live game is a way for us to introduce new concepts to the players.
Sparrow Racing has been on a lot of people's minds for a long time.
Sparrow Racing is like our first experiment with how do we build something that the community can actually have a hand in its future fate.
Being able to spin up Sparrow Racing, I think, is a really great example of an idea that pops up and foments from the community. We're able to take it and deliver it. If people love it, awesome, we can continue building on it and making it better. If people don't like it, we can get feedback on it and bring it back, or just decide to scrap it and put our time, energy, and our people on something else.
Sparrow Racing is a 3-week event that is hosted by Amanda Holliday, and it's available to all players of The Taken King.
Speed kills, but it's a fun way to go.
You're hauling ass through the desert and you want things to be aerodynamic. So we have dyeable suits, we have branded suits with Sparrow Racing logos, we have suits with little bits sticking off of it, and then color-coded suits that match paint jobs on the Sparrows. We take a similar approach with the Sparrow. We have the one base model, which is the core industrial design of it, and then we have variations of that.
You could wear exotics, you could wear your raid gear, you could have masks from Festival of the Lost, you can do whatever you want. Sparrow Racing is a 6-player free-for-all death race through enemy territory.
Gotta be fast and fearless if you want to win these races.
We have 2 race courses, one on Venus and one on Mars. Campus Martius is a circuit through the buried city on Mars.
Mars is our easy track, and the Venus one is our more advanced track.
Venus is called the infinite descent because you're always going downhill, and at the end you hit a teleporter and it brings you back to the top of the level.
In Venus, there's a ton of shortcuts. You can shortcut through a waterfall, jump over an entire turn, and then land right on a boost gate and take off.
Nobody's really going to have a better Sparrow than anybody else. It's really about your performance on the track.
The main skill that you will need is based off of you and how you drive. Boosting the right time. Braking at the right time.
Map knowledge is important. Knowing the race course is important. The more gates you miss, the slower you'll go. The more gates you hit, the faster you'll go.
Main things you can do to upset your opponent is you push them out of the gate, you push them into fans, cause them to explode. Whatever you can do to make sure that you are the only one hitting the gate so that you get the boost and you end up taking the lead. You're gonna see with Sparrow Racing something you haven't seen before. And if you like that, let us know, and for sure, you will see more coming.
I remember the old days when it was just a sparrow and a flat stretch of land. A lot different now.
Dreadnought, not quiet. Bite. Kill. Live.
We hear the community's call for new content, and with the April update, the live team is excited to be able to bring new ways to play and experience Destiny.
Making your Guardian more powerful is a huge component to the Destiny experience. So with the April update, the live team raised the light level up to 335.
We've basically made it easier to increase your light level through different sources. So whatever you're interested in, there's something there for you.
Crucible and Trials of Osiris and Iron Banner, Court of Orcs, King's Fall, Nightfall, and Prison of Elders, all roads lead to 335.
Many fights await you.
We have new bounties, we have new quests, we have a new story mission, and the Blighted Chalice Strike and the Winter's Run Strike. With the April update, we've had the opportunity to go back and really retool a fan favorite in the Winter's Run Strike. You're running through the strike with a whole new set of enemies, a whole new set of mechanics, and a brand new boss. With the Blighted Chalice Strike, Varric has sensed a new Taken power rising to take the throne, and he wants you to chase this power and ultimately capture Malak to imprison him in the Prison of Elders.
We've updated the Prison of Elders with 3 versions. First, we bumped up the light level. It's much more difficult now. We also have a full Takenated version. Takenated is when we go into an area and we express artistically the infestation of the Taken. And we have the challenge mode.
There are 8 new bosses that you can face and new modifiers where the players must fight a series of bosses 3 in a row every week in order to complete their scorecard and earn elite rewards.
With the Prison of Elders, we've made it so you don't always require a key. That wasn't exactly something that players enjoyed, and now you can go down to the big chest as many times as you want a week.
With these new challenges come new rewards, including a new type of gear called Chroma.
In addition to shaders, in addition to mix matching their armor, they now have a new way to further express the light in their Guardians.
Customize your entire appearance, from your armor to your weapons. You will literally glow with a color that's a reflection of your personality and an extension of your Guardian.
Many players were clamoring for the Taken appearance ever since we launched the Taken King. So that's a whole new set of armor that they can play with and really look kind of badass in doing that.
Once you collect a full set of Taken armor for one character, you will be given the Taken emote for free.
The live team is taking exotics from year 1 and bringing them forward with all of the increased levels of power that you would expect.
Bringing back a number of familiar exotics and updating a variety of year 1 legendaries.
Shadow Price, Badger CCL, there's 2 to the Morgue, LDR, all of those kinds of Vanguard and Crucible weapons that players loved in year 1.
We're excited to give Guardians new bounties, new strikes, new quest lines, gear customization options, new Prison of Elders challenges.
More things to kill, more things to collect, more things to do. There's just more of everything.
I'm most excited about raising my light level and then going out and acquiring some of that chroma gear. On April 12th, I'm taking the day off work to...
I am excited. The new Taken sword is awesome. You can just go destroy the Taken with their own sword.
Take your prize, Guardian. Use it well.
We thought we were indestructible. The Lords of Iron. We swore we would do anything to protect the last city. Some of us paid the ultimate price. I am all that remains. We thought we had sealed away the plague for eternity. But now, it has returned. And this time, with a fallen army. It is time to avenge my brothers and sisters. Stand with me, Guardian. Prove yourself worthy, and the Iron Lords will rise again.
Pre-order Destiny Rise of Iron and get the Iron Gjallarhorn.
Gjallarhorn! I just saw Gjallarhorn pop up! Oh my god! I've got Gjallarhorn! Yes! God, it happened!
pre-order Destiny Rise of Iron and get the Iron Gjallarhorn.